Well, hello old friends and welcome back to the channel. It's Good News Day because today we get to watch Season 3, Episode 4 of the one and only Babylon 5. And today's episode title is Passing Through Gethsemane. Can't wait to see it, friends. I can't wait to see any of these. So thanks so much for being here and no more talking. Before we get started, if you could do me a quick favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Somehow I found myself on the way to 10K, so any and every sub is greatly appreciated. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time for Babylon 5 Season 3 Episode 4, Passing Through Gethsemane. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. Oh, into it. A little slower though. Not the usual fanfare we're hit with. I like that shot very much.
You realize this is an extremely dangerous situation.
He's been through much worse.
I've seen that guy in everything.
Not a chance.
Care to put money on that?
Gambling is one of the lesser sins.
He was the doctor in Deadwood, I think.
I believe in a little of everything. I'm eclectic, open-minded.
Rudderless, directionless. Compass on an ocean of ecclesiastical possibilities.
Great line.
Your ambassador, Delenn, has a wonderful phrase. Faith manages. Check. Mate.
How the hell did nobody see that?
You want to tell me where you learned that little move?
Divine inspiration.
I like Brother Theo.
Edward, show the captain what you showed me.
Edward, eh?
What is it?
It's crystal meth.
This is beautiful.
I keep telling him he should sell them. Work of this quality could fetch quite a price, and the Order could certainly use the money.
It's like crystal origami. It's cool.
Do you really like it?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, then when I've finished it, it's yours, if you'll have it.
I'd be honored, thank you.
Here they come. They being whoever the hell encompasses my belief that multiple people were Kosh, and of course, his good buddy, the ship. So cool. He's already off.
You should be informed.
Informed of what?
Returning.
Oh, wow.
I said I'd be back.
Lita, you surely did. You know what? We're in, Susan's telling us about what's happening. God, this beginning is so good. You all talk about the music. The music is amazing in this show. I don't talk about it nearly enough, but it is absolutely, it's something that I will rectify. It is incredible, incredible music.
Our last best hope.
For victory. God, I missed this show. I haven't watched it in a week. A week!
The place?
Babylon 5. Chills every time. All right, so what I was going to say, friends, is I was wondering whenever Talia was, as you all have told me, requested and was granted her trapdoor exit, I was wondering if they were going to bring Lita back because I know that I'm sure that JMS has like telepath-centric storylines, or at least a narrative need for a telepath. And so I thought he already has one that actually started with The Gathering that he could easily fold back in with Lita. And by God, it looks like he's at least brought her back for this moment. So I'm curious if she's here to stay or if some of those like telepath moments might be something that's kind of like a guest star of the week or something like that. Because I'm sure he has those. Let's see what we have this time.
I gave him the last of my money in exchange for the life pod. He left me there with 5 days of air, food, and water.
Dear God.
The next thing I remember, I was on the Vorlon homeworld.
Well, come on, tell us about it.
She's not going to do that yet.
Ambassador Kosh says you'll be working for him from now on.
I'll be based here, but I'll be gone much of the time.
You do realize that sooner or later the Psi Corps is going to find out that you've come back. And when that happens, they'll come after you.
Well, I mean, Sanctuary with the Vorlons has to be recognized, right?
Now, you seem fine, but I'd like Dr. Franklin to do a full workup, just to be sure.
Unless you have an objection.
No, not at all.
Nobody's ever been to the Vorlon homeworld and back again. Yet she goes and comes back like she just took a trip to the corner store. And now she's working for Kosh.
Yeah. I love that she's the assistant.
In our order, our work is an offering, a kind of prayer, so it has to be done properly. 1,000 years ago, we were illuminating manuscripts.
It's such a neat premise.
That's not mine.
It fell from your bag.
I don't remember putting it there. I think I would have remembered a black rose.
Black Rose, eh?
Interplanetary Expeditions is proud to sponsor this segment of Interstellar Network News. Winners...
Interplanetary Expeditions, eh?
After which time, the 12-person jury found Lester James Monroe guilty of the 7 murders committed during a 10-day killing spree in New Vegas. Monroe has been sentenced to the death of personality. The mind wipe will take place Monday at midnight, after which he will spend the rest of his life serving the community that he harmed.
Wow. I always think it's interesting.
What exactly is this death of personality?
Well, it started up when everybody decided the death penalty was a bad idea.
You're still killing them. I mean...
But you don't agree.
Oh, I'm an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth kind of guy, Ambassador.
So you support a system that would leave everyone blind and toothless.
I did a medical profile on you just before you left.
Heightened what?
Oxygen deprivation, stress, fatigue. But according to the scanners, you're
Fine.
better health than when you left. Your enlarged appendix is now normal size, and a slight hiatal hernia has somehow fixed itself. I'd love to know how you did it.
And I'd love to tell you, but
Does she not even remember the injuries, though?
There does seem to be an unusually high level of oxygen in your bloodstream. Now, I can't quite see why that's happening.
then I'd better get going. I don't want to keep the ambassador waiting.
I want to see her walk in the cautious without the mask. Like, somehow she's able to just breathe that shit. Death walks among you? Harkens back to season 1's Death Walker, but...
But I did not want to alarm Brother Theo, and if others are brought into this whole thing...
Understood.
There, it's right there.
Oh boy.
I was standing right here. It said, "Death walks among you." I know what I saw.
All right. I'll get you into another quarters for tonight, and my people will go over this place tomorrow and see what they can find.
I'm so paranoid. I have such, like, I'm so skeptical of Edward because I've seen him as, like, basically a all over the place character as far as, like, intentions, good and evil. Oh boy.
Lita Alexander, as I live and breathe.
I suggest you remove your hand, Ambassador, or you won't be doing either for much longer.
Oh, wow.
My extremely overpaid sources told me that you had been seen arriving here in a Vorlon transport. Besides, if it were you, surely you would come by and say hello to your old friend.
No, Londo.
I would pay a great deal of money for an hour of your time to find out what you have seen there. Oh. Lita, I understand the Psi Corps is looking for you.
Boy, Londo.
I would hate very much for them to find you.
Bring him on.
I'm not with the Corps anymore. That means I'm not bound by their rules.
I'd wipe his mind.
I'd plant a nightmare deep in his mind where no one else could find or remove it. And that person would spend every night for the rest of his life screaming.
Now that's a threat, Londo.
And keep your threats to yourself.
How about you too, buddy?
Among my people, it is considered an honor to aid any true seeker in his quest.
Do you mind if I record?
No, not at all.
We have a big cast today.
We do not believe in any individual god or gods, but rather we believe that the soul is, what is a good term? A non-localized phenomenon.
If I project a beam of light at the wall, you see the light on the wall, but the wall is not the source of the light.
Great example.
We believe that the universe itself is conscious in a way we can never truly understand. We are the universe, trying to understand itself.
I love this.
For you, personally, what is the defining moment of your belief? Not the history, the doctrines, but the emotional core of it.
Wow.
Before our Lord was crucified, he spent the night alone in the Garden of Gethsemane. And he knew that they were going to come for him, and in a moment of weakness, he asked if this cup could pass from him. And of course, the cup would not pass, and the soldiers would come to Gethsemane. But he did not have to be there when they arrived.
Could have ran.
He knew what would happen, but he chose to stay, to sacrifice himself, and thus atone for the sins of others. Don't know if I would have had the courage to have stayed.
Some incredible dialogue and exchanges in this one so far.
I would very much like to hear about Valen sometime.
I would like that.
As would I. Valen was the greatest of us. 1,000 years ago, he came from nowhere and formed the Great Council.
Ooh, really? 1,000 years ago, you say. Showed up, you say. Created the Great Council, you say. Oh.
Round 17, please.
Why are we sticking with him? I don't like this. Oh, good. Well, nope.
Sorry.
It's all right.
What'd he do to him? Why are they after Edward? He seems like such a good person.
You killed her, Charlie. You killed her.
Charlie. Is Edward running from something? Oh, he's gonna die, isn't he? Oh my God. Oh my God. He's doing a great job in this. Does it say weight behind him? Black rose in the mouth? The hell are these visions, man? Obviously that guy that touched him seemed like it activated something. Walks among you. I don't think we know that person, and I can't tell. Oh my God, has he had the death of personality done to him? Oh my God.
Steward morning prayer.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
That's what it is. He's Charlie, a killer who had the death of personality.
Last night in the hall near here, I saw some things, and...
God.
I lost the bag. The one you gave me, I'm sorry.
Oh, a bag can be replaced. Right now, I'm more concerned with you.
I love Brother Theo, too.
Memories of things I never did or thought I never did. I don't know where they're coming from or what they mean.
Then perhaps it's best to leave them alone.
Yeah, oh my God. So good. He can't revert, though. It's gone, right? Like, the old personality is gone. This must just be residual stuff.
Do you want me to stay with you a while?
No, it's all right. I'm fine.
They say that they put the person that's been wiped, they put him back in the community that they harmed. I'm wondering if he did something to this order.
Cross-reference and analyze. Items. The phrase, death walks among you.
Charlie.
Time required for comprehensive analysis, 4 hours.
It's going to be him. He's going to see himself. Oh my God. JMS.
But our resources are limited, and we often rely on the word of those who come to us. For 80 years, Brother Edward has been the best of us.
Wow.
He's given aid and comfort to anyone who has required it without hesitation or expectation. He is a good and decent man. If I know Edward, he certainly started digging into this on his own. I need you to get there first. If there is something in his past, we can work with him to overcome it. We must get to the truth before he does.
You have 4 hours.
Blood. Same as in my quarters.
Yeah. Look, we got a preliminary report back on that.
Nothing there.
Why would an uneasy conscience show up in a lab report?
Great line. This is sort of heartbreaking because this is an interesting, almost like a death penalty argument and debate right here. We'll talk about it afterwards, but.
Against Charles Dexter, also known as the Black Rose Killer, for the ritualistic mark left beside each of his victims. 9 people were murdered by Dexter.
Oh my God.
Put to work serving the society harmed by his actions.
Oh, dude. Oh my God.
According to station records, the Black Rose archives were accessed about 5 hours ago. A computer signature was the system in Brother Edward's quarters.
He knows.
Yep. You guys might want to hurry up.
Do you know what it's like to wake up one day and discover you're a monster, a murderer?
Listen to me, Edward. We can work this out.
What if I had died, Theo, never knowing what I had been? How can I confess my sins to God if I don't even know what they are?
Oh, man.
But the stain remains with the soul. And my soul is the soul of a killer, and everything that I have done has been a lie.
That's not true, Edward.
You've done good, man.
I am a murderer, Theo.
That lighting is interesting for
The
him.
sins of my former life must be atoned for.
That down lighting.
There must be justice. I know that now.
Edward. Edward!
He's gonna kill himself.
If you ask God to forgive your sins, he knows what they are.
Yeah.
Leave it in his hands.
Stay in the garden.
It recorded voices in the hallway, voices Edward thought were just in his head. So I had my people check the area. Somebody tapped into the PA system and used it to rattle him.
Really?
It was quarters that would look like blood for a few minutes, then disappear.
Someone's here.
The family of...
But Psychor has rules against breaking mind wipes, so it would have to be alien.
Your brother Edward said a Centauri bumped into him just before he went nuts.
Get a hold of Londo. He's bound to have a list of all Centauri telepaths on station.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe this. I mean, who would want to do this to Brother Edward deliberately?
One of the relatives of his killer, or the victims. This mind wipe is fascinating to me. And it opens itself up for so much conversation and debate. These are all the victims' family, yep.
It took us 9 years to find you, but we finally ran you to ground.
You're the sons and daughters and husbands of the women I murdered.
We wanted you to remember it all so that you'd know why we did it. So that it'd be fresh in your mind when you got to hell. They don't have the guts to do what is necessary. But I do.
You're that guy?
The wipe was very complete. Fortunately, there's a great deal of redundancy in the brain. You just need to know human neural pathways well enough to be able to find them.
So you turned him back into a killer?
And you're gonna tell me who they are and where they are, or...
what?
Well, we're gonna let Lita, who's not regulated...
You can't use another telepath to pull the information out of my brain. Because your Psychor has rules for...
Step aside, Lita's gonna be there.
Do it.
Dude, I love the idea that she doesn't give a shit.
Let it go or I'll fry every synapse you've got.
Woo!
Brown 42. They're in Brown 42.
Is it? I mean, I know it's totally wrong. There should be rules, blah, blah, blah. Our guys are in the fight of their lives. Hey, Zach, our guys are in the fight of their lives. They need some rule-less telepaths. Watch out. Oh,
dear God.
In here! Someone help!
They crucified him. Jesus. Exactly, right?
I got it.
Oh, I like that. Watching him actually take him down.
Easy.
Like the...
Okay, you got him? Yeah.
Careful, guys. Careful. Great shot. Got us right in there with him. Look at that shot.
I always wanted to know if I would have the courage to stay at the Garden of Gethsemane. Now I know, Theo. Now I know.
He's gone.
You did this?
Yeah, I don't deny it. He had it coming after all these years.
Now you're just like him, man.
Calm down.
Zach, take off that armband, dude.
Through the mysteries of our redemption, may Almighty God release you from all punishments in this life and in the life to come. By the authority which the Apostolic See has given me, I grant you a full pardon and remission of all your sins.
So good.
Hey, speaking of ambassadors, we've had several inquiries from Londo. Seems he was quite upset about some unnamed telepath that was abusing one of his own a couple of weeks ago.
Couple weeks, okay.
What about the man who murdered Brother Edward? Is he going to trial?
Ah, that's long over. He didn't even try to deny it. Hell, he was proud of what he'd done. They pronounced sentence a few days ago.
His personality was wiped.
Where does revenge end and justice begin?
It's an age-old question.
I don't think anything can ever be more difficult.
I'll keep this in a place of honor.
Here's your new brother.
This is Brother Malcolm. He has just joined the order under most unusual circumstances. I asked for him specifically. I believe you were saying that forgiveness is a hard thing, but something ever to strive for.
Wow. Wow. Jesus, JMS.
Good luck to you. I hope things work out.
I'm sure it will. Thank you, sir.
We must be going along now. You will miss your flight.
Wow. Oh, boy. Not wearing the mask. Not wearing the breather. Her neck. She's got gills to breathe this? Holy shit. All right, everybody, we just finished watching the 4th episode of the 3rd season of Babylon 5, Passing Through Gethsemane, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished Passing Through Gethsemane, the 4th episode of the 3rd season of Babylon 5. Jeez, oh Pete's, everybody. This one was so deep. Again, we talked about it at the end of season 2, that JMS writes faith-based either people or organizations or actual religious structures, or even the interpretation of existing religious kind of like iconography and a religious kind of like theology and things like that better than I think anyone I've ever read. And again, or read or watched or anything like that. And again, you all have told me that he's an atheist, which I think has been confirmed. If I'm wrong, scream. But again, there is a measure of respect and knowledge and understanding of faith from someone who has removed himself from that realm that it almost defies the ability to understand how he's doing this. And again, because it's would be too easy to either, make sure that you kind of hit like the beats of a different, like a religion or a faith-based organization, and really not have like kind of the emotional quality with it that would kind of like lends itself to the added avenue of respect for the topic that you're speaking of. But dear God, he is just absolutely amazing with what he does here. But this episode, even with the backdrop of faith, the backdrop of like the religious order of Brother Theo and everybody, the real case here was, in my mind, this is a death penalty discussion. I'm telling you, I'm surprised. The only thing that surprised me about this episode's topic with, kind of being like a theme of like what is where revenge and justice, like Sheridan was saying, the only thing that surprises me about this episode is this wasn't the 4th episode of the 1st season, because JMS came out of the gate swinging. I mean, just out of the gate, politics and religion, and he absolutely doesn't shy away from stuff. So the idea that he is discussing what is like capital punishment, what took you so long, JMS? No, but all joking aside, it is an absolutely fascinating kind of, and again, I don't think it was it was such a well done debate because it was a debate obviously done by JMS with JMS, and it offered, it threw out all of the like the poignant points that each side would have against revenge and justice. The destruction of the body, does that really equate to justice? The destruction of the mind and personality, but that again, that wasn't enough. So it looks like in many ways, it asks the question: should there be, a death penalty where you die? Is the loss of personality considered a death? I think so. I think that if you destroy the personality and the memories and the mind and everything of the person that created this terrible crime and kind of like burn them down to the foundation without any type of residual, which he wouldn't have had it not been awoken from the Centauri, I think that's the death of the killer, or the death of whoever did whatever caused the crime that caused the personality removal. So again, I still think that even with the death of personality, it's still a death penalty debate. And again, it's a very political, and in many ways a very faith-based question. We had the comments in there, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That when he was talking with Delenn, about the Old Testament forms of judgment and retribution, revenge, call it what you will. And I think that again, bringing all of those up, throwing those all into the episode, kind of keeping those thoughts and everything juggling like balls in the air while we're continually kind of presented with, JMS is really, really good at this. And in the span of one episode, essentially one episode, he was able to give us Edward and have us basically fall in love with Edward. I'm always skeptical of new people because we've had too many betrayals. But, it didn't take me long that you're like, oh my God, this guy's a really good guy. He's doing what he needs to do. He seemingly seems to be perfect as far as for this order, selfless and all this good stuff. So we as an audience are kind of drawn to him, as somebody that inside this, world of mania that is going on now, that is Babylon 5 and the universe at large, there is somebody out there doing good for good's sake. And that in and of itself makes a character like Edward, at the very least, you don't have to like respect the character's beliefs. You don't have to, agree with his positioning as far as like, how he's presenting himself as like a member of the religious order. But you can respect the idea that he is somebody doing good. So again, much like his conversations on faith, JMS presents us with a character that you can pick apart, sure, but at the same time, you can't condemn. You know what I mean? You can say, I don't agree with that, but he's doing a good job, or I don't agree with this, but hey, at least he's a nice person. There's not enough given in this introduction to Edward to kind of dislike Edward. At the very least, you're going to be kind of like neutral, carbon neutral on him. But at the same time, so as an audience, we are presented with a character that we are going to really, really struggle and probably manufacture some reason to dislike, or carry in some preconceived notions potentially about his religious order that causes us to dislike Edward and Brother Theo, probably. But at the same time, you're for the most part, you're presented with a character that at the least bit isn't hateable, right? And then immediately he tears down that character by allowing you to understand where he came from. And the debate is then, and I'm very curious where you all stand on this, because it's like, I'm back and forth. It's like, okay, so can you see Edward as Charlie now? Is Edward an innocent victim where Charlie's last victim is Edward? Again, there's a debate and a really good discussion about each and every one of those potential theories. Now that it was kind of the Centauri telepath like broke down the blocks, would he have eventually like reverted to Charlie? It certainly didn't seem that way. It didn't seem like Edward was like edgier or seemed to carry like a different mannerism or anything. He seemed to be genuinely contrite in all of the things that Charlie had done. You know what I mean? It's very interesting to me. I mean, it's a fascinating, and it's an unanswerable kind of debate because it really, really is nuanced. It takes into each person that's listening to the arguments is carrying a bunch of different, kind of points and notes and tent poles of their own beliefs into this type of, you got the death penalty, faith. I mean, there's a lot of really contentious things that are thrown into this discussion, but at its very core, I think that the one thing that I don't know if I can answer, but I'll ask all of you this, was justice served. And I'll end with this, everybody. I really like the idea that Lita Alexander is back. Again, we are returned all the way to the gathering. We know that JMS, or you all have told me, that JMS wanted her to continue, wanted her to be the telepath when we hit the main series. But she had prior commitments. It came up. It was just kind of, one of those working actors are going to get work. And at the time that, from between the gathering and the initial season 1, episode 1, she got some work, but now she's able to come back, which really works with Talia's departure. And we're not like kind of introducing a new character. We've had Lita before. This is a really, really cool move because I know that JMS really, really likes like the telepath, like storylines. I am convinced he has deep narrative on everything from Psy-Corps to the Psy-Cops to, the Mars installation to anything that's dealing with telepaths. And we're not nearly done with that storyline just because, as you all have told me, Talia's actress wanted to leave, not having enough screen time, blah, blah. We kind of commented on that at one point too. But again, with her departure, that doesn't mean that all of the ideas and the narrative, plots and story beats that JMS had, they don't disappear with her. Bringing in Lita was brilliant. It was executed brilliantly. We had this incredible look at what's happening to her with the gills where she can breathe, where she's taking in the light. Who the hell knows what that is? She's completely healthy. Franklin's like, this is the best ever since my record start. This is the healthiest you've ever been. What's changed? I don't know, Lita. To me, an absolutely fascinating episode of Babylon 5. It's why I love the show. I've told you all, Babylon 5's changing my mind a little bit on space combat. I'm not a huge space combat, ship-to-ship type of person. I've really enjoyed, the Babylon 5 combat that we've seen because it's few and far between. It's episodes like these that are really deep questioning, really introspective. To me, it is the absolute recipe for the brilliance that is JMS and Babylon 5, that when we sit down on the virtual couch to watch one of these, just like Forrest Gump, we never know what we're going to get. And that is beauty personified, my friends. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to board Babylon 5. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But all that was then and this is now, my friends, and now it's time, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye from this episode of Babylon 5. So where should we say goodbye from? Well, normally we pick a scene in which to say goodbye from as a reward for being the Greek chorus and a vital part of the narrative. We're able to, go back into the episode we just watched, say goodbye from a scene. But friends, what I think I would rather do this time is say goodbye from a question that we had, to say goodbye from an idea that is being very strongly and consistently presented by JMS in Babylon 5. And I will say this, my friends, if you are in the position of somebody that Charlie had wronged, murdered, hurt, done something to, and you found out about Edward, my question is this: are you on Babylon 5 with the faceless mob? Or do you forgive? I think JMS wants us all to figure that one out ourselves. Until such time as we can board Babylon 5 again and continue this fascinating tale. Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.